Hi guys. Why am I looking there? Sorry. So often I'll find myself wanting to make the perfect video, and if it's not perfect then I'll just scrap it. But I realize that often the perfect conditions aren't up to me, and my own judgment can suck. So consider this video me diving headfirst and making something that I don't think is perfect. So I'm gonna get ready and we're gonna head outside.
Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. Just leave me for somebody else.
So it's taken me a while to make this video, and this voiceover is actually recorded like a couple of weeks after the rest of this video. And that's because I struggled. I cared too much about things that weren't in my control. And I know a lot of people do this, but why? Why allow your own unreliable judgment, the same judgment that often holds you to unachievable standards, stop you from fulfilling your dreams? For example, something I struggle with when making these videos is the weather.
Do not even. No. The weather.
Yeah?
The weather.
Yeah?
You're right, Neymar. Yeah, it's on your neck. No.
I want to show you guys God's creation outside because it's amazing, and in contrast with the evil and suffering that seems so abundant in this world,
This way?
it brings me joy when you
that's
see
cool.
something like this. And to me at least, it shows the existence of an artist, a creator, someone who also thought that this world would be better off with me and you in it. And I seem to think that sunsets and beaches and mountains and all the travel reels that you see on Instagram look the best. But you can find beauty in rain, in grey clouds, indoors. God has a plan for you and for others. He doesn't need the perfect conditions, because what's impossible with man is possible with him. Cristiano Ronaldo grew up in poverty, and yet now he's the most well-known and influential footballer of all time. Sorry, Messi fans. And David in the Bible committed adultery and murder, yet he repented and became a great king and ancestor of Jesus. So don't let your expectations of how your future and dreams and your projects are going to play out stop you from ever actually working towards them, just because something isn't perfect, just because it takes hard work. On social media, we see the end product of something that someone has made, and not the messy journey it took to create behind the scenes. You know, it sounds silly when you put the things that you care too much about, in my case the weather, or how I look, which is something I really struggle with, up against your purpose. Why let something so insignificant stop something so good? And I know that sometimes it's difficult to let go of the thoughts that you wrestle with, that almost tie you down. But in my opinion, if you want to do that, you need to change how you think and find a real purpose, which is a process. Perfection isn't really attainable. If I'm so focused on whether the color grading of this video is perfect, or the audio, or what I'm saying, then I'm never gonna get this video out. But if I continue to make videos, then each time I'll learn, and I'll get a little bit better. Maybe a little bit closer than the idea that was originally in my head. But it will never be perfect, and that's okay. Why fear something not being good enough when you're trying your best? A messy step forward is worth more than a perfect plan that never moves. When you start something, you're not going to be perfect. Before I got injured playing football, I would spend hours, days, weeks, my life playing football, improving. And the first time I played, I wasn't perfect, but I also wasn't the last time I played football, or in between, or at any time. Something can be good without it being perfect. And it doesn't mean something is a failure if it doesn't quite fit your expectations. Just because you don't have the skills or the knowledge to create something exactly as you picture it, doesn't mean you should give up. It just means you should try, because in trying you learn. So in summary, perfection kills dreams because perfection kills progress. The steps you take might not be as big as you want them to be, but walking forward nonetheless is better than standing still and doing nothing. Thank you guys. I'm so sorry for my upload schedule. It's my fault obviously, and I aim to do better. I'm not a huge fan of this video, but it's a step, and I hope you guys can take a step too. Thank you guys. I love you, and Jesus loves you more. Peace.
I had too much pride, I had to give it up. Pockets wet with the Messiah's love. Say praise his Lord, just declare it with your mouth and you'll be saved. And that's what on bro, I couldn't he get me from A to Z. The same ones that tell me that they love me now. Plenty miracles for me to think his love. Say, I'm just trying to tell these folks that Jesus Christ is Lord. Just declare he ain't coming in no Rari.
Okay, love you guys. Sorry.